So the next session that I went to this morning was killer Facebook, actually it was this afternoon, killer Facebook advertising tactics. And this was one of the main reasons why it came out. Our company does a lot of Facebook advertising, and it's kind of a point of frustration for us because we get a lot of ads disapproved. Sometimes we get one ad approved and then the exact same ad would be disapproved because a different reviewer gets it. So, when you're spending a lot of time putting ads together, it's difficult to deal with the Facebook ads department. So I was really looking forward to coming to this session today, because one of the people that was there, Mark, and I didn't catch his last name, works for Facebook, and basically was able to speak on behalf of the company, and that was really important to me to be able to hear what they have to say. And essentially, one of the reasons why it is so difficult to get ads up, and I can understand, is that Facebook is really concerned about their user experience, and they want to make sure that the user of Facebook, has a good experience, and they don't want you to click on an ad and buy something that affects you or dips your credit card or does something that you don't expect. You don't want to feel scammed because you did something through Facebook. And I can totally appreciate that. My problem is that there are so many scam ads on Facebook right now that I think it's unfair that it's difficult for people to get some ads that are even, let's say, less scammy or closer to the line up. So as much as I love the idea of them saying that, I have to disagree, because they essentially what's happened here is Facebook has two types of advertisers. There's the people who spend 30 grand a month or more, and then there's the rest of us who spend a little bit less than that, depending on what your budget is. And the problem is that if you spend $30,000 a month or more on Facebook advertising, they give you access to a bulk ad uploading tool, which I don't know the specifics of, but I gathered from what was being said today that this tool doesn't require any kind of approval of your ads. I think you can pretty much just put ads live, and I think what's happened is some of the companies that are doing text message kind of stuff, and some CPA offers, which are a little bit more shady, are getting some ads through that maybe shouldn't be getting through. And they did admit that there are definitely there are definitely some improvements to be made in their review process. So you could tell that this room was packed. This was the busiest session of all. I mean, there were people standing in the back of the room, and you could see that a lot of us were there that had been through this review process and had dealt with the headaches, and they weren't really prepared to address them too much. But I did pick up some information. Facebook is now up to 350 million users. It's a huge ad platform. If you can spend more than $30,000 a month, once you get to that budget, contact your affiliate manager or your ad manager and find out about this bulk uploading tool. If you're using it, contact me. I want to find out more about this thing, so let me know what you know about it. Now is the time. I've been preaching this in my courses. I can't stress enough how Facebook ads is, sooner or later this window is going to close where it's so cheap and so easy to brand on Facebook. I have ads running on Facebook right now that cost me a total of about 30 bucks a day, and every internet and affiliate marketer sees my face and my name every single day on Facebook, and it doesn't cost me that much money at all. And I'm doing a huge job of sort of branding myself on Facebook using Facebook ads. I've done so for my clients, and I will continue to do so, because even though the CTR is extremely low, click-through ratio, I think that it's a fantastic medium, because people will see your image, your brand, your name. You can even put your domain name in your ads over and over and over again. And what a lot of the people on the panel sort of agreed upon was that the branding that you get can outweigh the clicks that you get. So if you put your domain name or your company name in your ads, or your 800 number, you'll actually get a lot more action outside of the click-through. So what happens is, if you're measuring your analytics on, say you set up a throwaway domain that's like completely just for a Facebook ad campaign, you'll notice that you'll start to get type-in traffic, because people are actually coming to your website because they remembered seeing the ad and they go check it out on their own later. So very important to kind of look at that information, because a lot of the time we just look at our cost per click. You know, maybe it's high, maybe it's 80 cents, maybe it's $1. But if that $1 is actually sending you 2 or 3 visitors, is it so bad? So think about that. They talked about testing headlines and images and landing pages for conversions. One of the presenters did a huge presentation on it. One of the speakers was Jeremy Shoemaker. Another one was Dr. David Klein, Alex Schultz, Marcus Find, and Jim Kukral. I'm sorry if I pronounced any of these names wrong. Dr. David Klein did a presentation on testing different colors. He even tested different shirt colors on one of the stock images that he used in his ads, and it actually affected the click-through ratios. It was really interesting stuff. So put your domain names in. I talked about that. One of the things that I thought was interesting was I got a chance to ask the panelists a question. I've always preached that CPC, cost per click, is the best way to buy Facebook ads, but a lot of these guys who are spending a ton of money with them said that no, buying on a CPM basis is actually cheaper in the long run. So I'm going to do some tests on that, and I'm going to report back and let you know what happens. But I've never actually tried the CPM function. I've always just gone straight to CPC, maybe because my mind was just focused on that. So I'm going to give it a try, and I'll let you know what the results are. One of the other, 2 more tips. One was when you're doing your testing, test on Canadian and European traffic, because it's cheaper than buying US traffic, and it's a great way for you to do your test marketing and see what's going to get clicks, what's going to get opt-ins, what's going to get sales, how's it going to convert, and then move your ad budget over to the US, where you can kind of prove it a little bit easier. And the last thing I thought was interesting, and I've done this myself, is find some local small business owners to do Facebook ads for. If you're in the offline space and you're doing some consulting for people, look into this, because it's huge. And I've done this for a friend of mine who owns a spa. You can get some amazing results if you do some local search marketing, local Facebook ad marketing. So that's it for the Killer Facebook Advertising Tactics session.